Hey everyone, this is episode 107. I'm starting up with my daily color with the Brutfuner flower boxes that I will be using to color this whole page of miniature flowers and one ladybug. So I have not mentioned this, but the other day, it was before I started swatching, I was doing some sort of, I think it was the Castle Arts Gold, finishing something up for that. I'm sitting in the recliner and I bump my wonderful Jarlink power sharpener and I dump it and it will not start. I charged it and I even tried to film using it and it just would not work. So it is now in the hands of my husband, who is very mechanically inclined, and we'll see if he can breathe new life into it. In the meantime, I grabbed a sharpener that I have never used beyond a very... I bought a bunch of them, all of the lesser expensive non-power ones. So this is probably at least 4 years old. It is called a teal, and I used it to sharpen every one of my pencils. So I have it on setting 5. Seems to make the longer point, but it's still not a very long point, not compared to the long points that my Jarlink would put on. However, right off the bat, I will tell you that using a manual sharpener will save a lot of pigment and material, because when you sharpen it, you can control how much you sharpen it, and it does not use anywhere near as much. I mean, I've sharpened like 25 pencils today, and that would have filled up the Jarlink canister. So it's gonna be a battle of whether my hands can handle it, whether or not I buy something to replace the Jarlink that is not manual. So we'll see. I do a lot of coloring and I will be using a sharpener every single day, so I'm willing to give it a try. I have some color blends that I have not tested. I did use my swatches, and I will point out some examples where the pencil barrel color does not anywhere near match the pigment color. So I am just going to grab a couple of greens. I have 2 different tones of greens to play with. I have, for my first colors, it is number 146 as it is stamped on the pencil. I won't be telling you the colors. I will be using the numbers. So if you have these, be sure to reveal, if you have not already, the set number of the pencil, which is numbered 1 through 100, or 1 through 520. So I am going to start with my lighter green, and I am not sure how they will work on a smooth paper. I've been using my Bristol that goes through the printer, the Nina Bristol. But so far my experience with these has been very pleasant. There was less than 10 pencils that had any significant problems to speak of. Because these images are so small, I don't know, I have up to 5 light to dark pencils in case I decide to go crazy. Like here already, I could come back here with an even darker green, but for these 2 I just grabbed 2. But see, they're smooth, they're soft, they're quiet, which I know for a lot of people, you know, a quiet versus a scratchy, noisy pencil will make a difference if you're a tactile person and your part of your calming experience has to do with any sound that is made. I am a very sound sensitive person, which is funny because my husband is a smell sensitive person and I am a sound sensitive person. So for how small that image is, those two colors are fine. I do have right next to me my big case, so I could easily stop for the moment. And I've got this giant case that my husband, he snickers because he knows what, oops, better go grab my glassine. So he has seen me with this case. He saw it when it was empty. He saw it when it was partway full. And now he just snickers at me. I told him I wish that there was some sort of a, like a leather bound, looking like an ancient book, like an ancient relic. My sharpener, my eraser that was holding this page down has left. So I'm going to close this lid. Because I will need that darker green, I am going to grab a darker green. Again, the barrels cannot be trusted, so you do have to actually look at the swatch and go by the swatch. I am going to shoot for a very dark green. I think I'm going to grab 196. I will point out any fun names, like this one that I'm grabbing is called Black Forest. So that makes it a rather unique name. And I did finish a My Thoughts video, and it is uploading right now as we speak, so that you can go check out all of the details about my swatching experience. So this is me sharpening the teagal, way quieter, but it takes a lot longer. I hold the pencil still and rotate the sharpener. It's easy to do this with a small one, but the only flaws that I have found with the teagal is this is a glossy paint surface, but on the flatter surfaces that scratches easier than the glossy. And the sharpener, I don't know if you guys can see this, but there's some little lines that it starts, because it's a hard, brittle plastic, and so it's sharp at the entry point. So since it is sharp right here, there's two sharp edges. I might even grab some sandpaper and try to sand those away, because they are marking my beautiful new pencils. So I know people probably think I'm crazy. Okay, here we are. We've got this darker green. I want to be able to get the shadows nice and dark. And since I will be using this on multiple flowers and leaves, I think I'm going to continue on. So this time I'm going to try starting with the dark. And I'm not really consistent whether I start with light or start with dark. It really just depends on if I have finished coloring using the darkest or the lightest and I move to a new area, I will just keep that same pencil in my hand. So in the description I will have all of the colors, and I will put them in color family order, and greens used, blues used, but I will not type out their names. So I'm hoping that this will go super fast and I can get a lot of these done today, but I have designated that this would be like a 2-day page. I hope everyone had a good week last week. I ended up getting a lot done. And I think I managed to post 3 or 4 episodes, so part of my need for time off was to catch up with videos. I have not figured out the correct balance for me between the daily colors and other content. So I will be working on that going forward. So this was my middle green. So I went with the darkest, then the lightest, and now I'm just going in, getting that middle color. And I do have blues, like if I wanted to, I have both of the lightest blues. 266, which is called Angel Blue, and it actually is at the beginning of the aqua colors, and then Blue Topaz is 210. I think Angel Blue, the pigment, looks like Angel Blue is the lighter of the two. I had said that I would love an even lighter blue tone than both of these, but I do think that this appears to be very, very light. And for interest's sake, I have not done a lot of pre-swatching. I just grabbed some. I did use the swatches, but I didn't do any blends to verify that these colors go together. So I thought it would just be a fun, real-time, live experiment. I'm using medium-ish pressure, not focusing on light layers necessarily. So now I'm just going to see if the Blue Topaz 210 is a slightly darker, and it appears that it is slightly darker. So Angel Blue 266 is the lightest blue. There's a couple of very light colors that have blue in their name that I don't feel are blue. They look more green to me. So there are the two lightest blues working together. And now I'm going to grab the closest color tone I have, which will be pinks. And I have the lightest pink, the pink to red. I think I have 5 pinks going into the reds, and then going to oranges to a light orangey yellow. So I've grabbed 3, and they are the lightest colors. The lightest is not the one you think. I've got 3 of them here. Here are their number 296, 298, and 299. So they're very close together. And I am going to start with what I believe is the lightest pink, which, if you look at the color of the barrel, it is fluorescent pink. This flower is the same flower that is at the beginning of the book. On the inside cover, it's used quite a bit. All right, so here is what should have been the lightest color, 296. And I'm going to so it's clearly darker than the one I started with. And I'm going to go back to the one just to share. So here, sorry about, I hit the thing. Hot pink. Not so hot pink. Very soft pink. Appears to be the lightest pink of all of the pinks. All right, and then the darkest pink I will go in through the center is number 299, and it actually looks like it's the middle pink. And then over here, that looks like a little piece of popcorn. So I figured, since these flowers are so tiny, I would start with sharpened pencils. I think that was a good way to go. So this week in Florida, I think I see up ahead a few days, it's going to be in the 90s starting tomorrow. And I saw a high of 99. So that is just not the norm for here. I hope it's not going to be high humidity, then we all might survive. Okay, so now I might grab one darker. And this one is 305. This is one of the largest flowers that we get to work on. So I might even go one darker before I go for a yellow to orange. So here is my darkest pinkish color. It is 331, and its color almost looks like a deep brown or burgundy. Oh, I sharpened it and used it, pressed too hard. My first break came early. All right. And there we go. Beautiful, soft, lovely. See, on this side I could go darker under here. So yes, we are going to hit some very warm weather. All right, a leaf and a flower done. I am going to pop down to these little bellflowers. And I'm going to do them in, starting with a periwinkle, number 412. I thought that I might allow myself to jump around so that I can then, for whatever we don't have done for tomorrow, I'll pick a different set of colors for tomorrow to fill in the gaps. And this one is 413. So far, still feeling really smooth. I'm gonna go one darker just because I can. We've got 424. Interesting color name, Parachute Purple. I have some lighter greens, just for fun. I'll give you the color number in a second. And we'll see if the color names are interesting on these. Limeade, color 18. I do want to have a talk about this. So we have sharp green, number 19. And I'm not sure, I haven't done a deep investigation into this. So that was sharp green, number 19. And lo and behold, sharp green number 2, with no number 2, just sharp green, 141. First crumbs. And I hope that you can see that this actually is, of the three, is the darkest of the three. Pushed too hard. So, sharpening to a full tip. A couple of these I did sharper than the others. And the sharper the tip, it will break. I am using light to medium pressure. I'm now grabbing one of the, we've already used it, 144, to just add some shadow colors. And there we go, that's finally giving me the depth I'm looking for. Teeny tiny little spaces. All right, I'm going to pause a minute. I'm at 24 minutes. Not making very much progress, am I? I'm going to unplug. I had my camera plugged in to charge it. I'm going to unplug it now because it's hampering my ability and slowing me down. And now I am, of course, melting. I forgot to bring my fan over here, so I have to... There. Okay. I'm going to grab some lightest of the next color I want to try, which is 181 Aruba Blue. And I think I am going to, just for fun, I'm going to do, oh, see, and look at how sharp that was, like pointy sharp. Okay, so that's the lightest of this aqua tone. Oh, hub is here. I'm going to pause. All right, I am back. Hub is settled. We were working on this flower and I finished with the lightest color. So now I'm going to go in with the next darkest color, working in small circles toward the center. And I will start filling in some of these shadow areas. I watched quite a few videos this weekend and noticed I am not the only one paranoid about having my knuckle change the focus away from the image. I am not the only one. I forgot to tell you the color number, so I will look in a minute. I like to just cheat, and I use the artist's guide toward the shadows by the areas that have the dots or the lines. And this color is number 183, Atlantis. One of the more clever names. Pulling 184, this is written in white, which you can see it kind of dotted. This is a chalk pencil, and it's not scratching off because this is not a glossy surface. This chalk pencil from Dollar Tree on the glossy barrels does not stay on and it scratches right off. So I am glad that the matte finish it adheres to pretty well. Alright, so I still can go darker. I have 2 more. That's how dark I can get, should I want to go that dark. This one is 192 Harbor Blue. This should definitely be getting into the dark realm here. This tip I did not sharpen all that much. And now I'm going to go back to the lightest. And add a little bit of color back to 181. I was telling Hub that I never can color as fast as I think I can. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll be able to get these finished up in 2 days. But I am taking my time because I'm getting to know these pencils. And like I said, I'm just randomly moving throughout the page to whatever flower looks interesting. And I noticed there are quite a few leaves on here as well. So there's a pretty flower finished. I'm gonna go grab, maybe I'll do an orange center. And do a little bit of a shadow. I'm going to move on down to something different. I'm going to do this one in yellows. I have and I don't have any like a lemon yellow colors. I only have yellowy orange to orange. So that's what we will be doing. This in fact is the lightest yellow that I have. And I am hardly putting any pressure at all. Very easy lay down. Okay, so I won't be getting too dark. I might not do the center of that. No, let's do something crazy. We're just going to say that the center of this flower is hot pink to fuchsia, and then we'll do a nice shadow. And added a couple of dots. I have jalapeno red is 320, and this might be kind of dark. I've got the lighter version of it first. I'm going to grab the lighter, which is kind of pinkish, called Rose of Sharon 314, and I thought that I would get going with this ladybug. As you can see, it's pretty pinkish. I did not even pull out ladybug colors per se, so now we're going to go back in with that darker jalapeno red, 320. I think that's red enough. I do not think I have... Oh, I can go back with this Deep Claret 331. Yep, so far I can find nothing wrong with these. Oh, that's Hub's phone. Oh, must have been an uninteresting number. I did not pull a black, so I will be saving the black dots until next time. All right, next I am going to find a flower down below here that I want to color dark. Now I see some transfer from our other images. I cut new glassine sheets that are smaller than the size of the book to go in, and then because of the airflow we have going on in here, this glassine sheet, I'm having to hold it down or it would fly away. All right, so I have some blues. I have the really light ones, and I'm gonna start with this darkest blue. I think I only grabbed 3 blues this time. So I'm starting with a dark, and it is 291, Salute. Okay, so the next lighter color is 225, Blue Aster. There was another one. I think I missed one. I missed True Blue 237. And that is what I want to do before I go with Blue Aster. All right, now I'm ready to go with Blue Aster, the next lighter color. These are just so very tiny. All right, so very light layers were used here. I believe the next color tone I have is the lightest tone. So I am going to grab that one. There's two. I decided that Angel Blue, this was the very lightest, and that 210 Blue Topaz is one tone darker. So I'm going to go ahead and do some burnishing of the other colors, as well as extend this out almost to the edge, but I still would like a little bit of light blue, a little bit of white, I mean, left over on the very tips. So the only problem I see with these pencils thus far is their light fastness, which they're just not going to be light fast. And I think that for the person who loves color and just loves to swatch and actually would use these, I think that they are well worth. I think I paid like $96 because I chose for a slower shipping, and I have the Chase card, so I get a 5% back and then 6% back if I choose a longer delay in my shipping, which is only like 1 day. So I waited 2 days to get these instead of 1 day. So there you go. This is the beautiful blended blue. I could even go back with the dark now. I have not found, this might be a good test, limitations. Yeah, see, I'm still able to put the really dark down, even though I did fully burnish down what I could with that lightest blue. Very nice. So for coloring books and coloring pages, I think if you can just make yourself dig into these and use them, they are well worth it. And there are so many colors, like I said, that 2 or 3 of the blues look just alike, and I'm just gonna use them up and move on to the next one when I run out. All right, so the centers of that, I am playing with the different colors. I'll pick a lighter orange, very soft, and this is a very light color, and then grab a pretty dark orange, and with that sharp tip, I almost need my glasses to do what I'm trying to do here, which is doing some circles. There we go. And then if I want to go even darker, I didn't even say what that was. This is 41. That darker was 39, Autumn Glory. And I started with 34, Radiant Yellow. All right, so I'm now on 41, called Puffin's Bill. Puffins have a orange, darker orange bill. All right, and then I'm gonna get some green going. This time I did bring out a darker green. So let's try, starting out with Black Forest, 196. I could move over here to the middle instead of hiding in the corner. of my screen. And because the right side of both leaves have lines, I'm going to take that as a trigger for make me dark. And then I've got the middle green. And the lightest green of these olivey tone greens. There I go. Now if I want to take the dark black forest back through here and just really go for dark shadows, I can still do that even though I have put down a fully burnished load. And I don't see any tooth, and I'm still able to get the green to stick to the fully burnished filled tooth. All right, I've still got we had 25 minutes, so I'm a little bit over time. I have finished a whopping 6, so let's review. So I did that one first, then that leaf, little purple flowers, started on this flower. Ladybug, don't have the black. I will have it for next time, and then maybe I will speed up, and then I just did this flower. So far I'm loving them, even on these little tiny images. So I will be swapping out for some different colors, and hopefully tomorrow I will just be able to dig in, and whatever I don't finish tomorrow, I will finish on my own time for the weekly color, which will be Sunday. I've moved everything back a day. And then I am sneaking ahead. Oh boy. That's going to be fun. So, I haven't even looked at what sets would be involved with these. I can tell you that Castle Arts Gold, because Castle Arts are next, so probably Soft Touch. And you know I own the metallics, and I have not ever used them on like a real coloring page. So I perhaps am going to bring out both sets, the Castle Arts Soft Touch and the Castle Arts Metallics, when we hit this set of 6. And we will see if I will commingle them, or I might just have to say that, you know, like the 3 on the left will be Soft Touch, and the 3 on the right will all be metallic. Because I think that's the only way I'm going to get a really good representation of the metallics. Having them here and there isn't really a way to show them off. So I might have to do that. And it will be a struggle to get the lights. I know that the metallics to me are kind of all middle tones. None of them are really light, and none are really dark. So that's my plan, working ahead. And so I will be back tomorrow to do one more page of the Brutfuner 520 flower box set on this page. So I'll see you tomorrow. Be sure to do all the YouTube things, like, share, comment, and consider subscribing. And join me tomorrow for another daily color.